What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? It's your man Raw Blend back at it again. I'm actually coming in to give a little information about my input on this Fat Joe situation of him calling Vita and Lil Mo some crackhead bees, and basically, to me, every black male, especially platform, should be speaking out on this, against this, of course, because if any other community women is talked about, believe me, the people will be canceled by now. Shows will be shut down and everything. Look what happened to Jalen Rose and Stephen A. Smith when they said little stuff about certain people, the LBGT. But when they say something about us, we don't really react like all the other communities do. But really, with Fat Joe, ain't nothing really to cancel. I wasn't watching the verses yesterday, but like I said, I am from the era that listened to Fat Joe somewhat. I think he did better on features. Envy and what is it, Hustle is the Key to Success. I think those both were albums. They was okay. Like I said, he did his thing with Pun, but like, really, he just need to be checked. I don't think it's nothing really to counsel with Fat Joe. I mean, I might be a little. It might be something he might own or support or franchise of, but for him to be, I'm finna say Republican, for him to be Democrat, no, not Democrat, damn. For him to be Dominican or whatever, Puerto Rican or whatever he is, that's definitely a no-no. But I got a story about a vendor, because I do a couple of events here in my city, and I had a vendor that came in from out of town. She came in the middle of the show on a Saturday, hella late. I still let her come in. I explain to my vendors, when you come into these places late, it don't look like you just setting up late. It look like the whole show. So she got there at like 12 o'clock. The doors opened at 9. She called and said she was on the road from Memphis or Nashville or whatever she was from. And so she came to the show. She had her mother with her. At the time, I didn't know her mother didn't know how to speak English. I think she spoke Puerto Rican or whatever language they speak, or Dominican, whatever language they speak. I'm black, so I don't know what them people speak. But and so so after the fact, we had a couple of media outlets come in, like from the news. So these folks came in from the news, and they ended up they came in from the news, and they ended up going to a couple booths, and then most of the time that they were there, it was there maybe about an hour. They went to the stage, because the hair show was going on. And so after the media outlet here from the news left, I guess, maybe a week or two later, they posted on their YouTubes and they played on the TV station and everything. They're straight live. But the next day on my event page was a comment, a long half of a book, about how her and the other vendor, who was white, and the white vendor, she had, I guess, this Puerto Rican or Dominican lady. And her company was called African something. It was called African something in Designs or something. I remember that for a fact. And this lady said, in her comments, said she don't identify as an African or black. And she felt that we told the media not to come to her booth. So, me, I'm like, hold on, was they there even long enough to go by every vendor? Because she said they went by every vendor except her and the white lady. So it was 55 vendors at this show. And I'm going to say that my staff said that they was barely there an hour. I might have seen them go by a couple of booths. And I'm just saying that to say to how these people can be how they can be culture vultures. Because if you look at her, at the time, like I said, her company was called African something. She got African jewelry and African dresses, but you don't identify as African. What is up with these people, man? But you do not identify as an African. That don't make sense to me. I wouldn't be out here selling no Irish apparel and no no Irish apparel or nothing like that. And I'm not Irish, unless I had like my licensing to sell some Notre Dame apparel. That's about all you'll probably get out of me. For they conference or whatever. But yeah, I just feel so. I'm saying this to say that they like Fat Joe is nothing but a culture vulture. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Hip hop is ours, nobody else's. That breakdancing, maybe they can kind of ease that in, but the rap, motherfucker, hip hop rap. I'm sorry, because I know it's 5 S's of hip hop, but the rap part of this is definitely black people, African American, blacks in America, whatever you call yourself. Yeah, black folks. Okay, so I'm just saying we got to watch out for these folks, because it's a lot of them out here. They culture vultures. They portray like they for the culture, but they just collecting dollars and not putting it, and not even saying putting it back in the community, but they're not even from the community, so of course they're not gonna put it back in. I just came to Home Depot so that I can get a new T-square. I broke the one I had. I'm trying to register some shirts for screen printing, so I'm using the T-square to do that. But I definitely I ain't did a video in a while, but when I saw this Fat Joe thing, I'm like, I can relate to that, because I had an event, one of our events, like I say, they old girl made this real long video, man. And luckily I had, at the time I was married, and my wife was like, my ex-wife rather, she was like, well, she was my wife at the time, but my wife at the time had said, no, let me respond. Cool, that's something that some feminine energy can take care of, because I was finna go there. Like, are you serious, lady? I let you come in through my show 2, 3, 4 hours late. You had a great booth. I still held it. Other vendors asked for it that was already there, had already been there since earlier. And so I told him, well, if you didn't come that first day, that I was going to let him have it the next day. I just feel like, that's 2 incidents now that I've seen with this, Lil Mo and Vita. So we got to protect them at all costs. Real talk. So you ain't finna just talk about, well, I guess some people talk about Jennifer Lopez, but not on no mainstream like that. You might have a couple comedians that might have said something about J-Lo, or maybe somebody from their community, I don't know. But other than that, or whatever community J-Lo from, I think she's Latino, so Spanish or whatever it is. So, but yeah, man, does anybody speak out on these sisters, on this? We need everybody speaking out on this situation against Fat Joe, fat ass, big fat ugly motherfucker, big red neck having ass motherfucker. So, the motherfuckers ain't right anyway. Very violent. They try to talk about black men, but they violent too. Look up what Big Pun, baby mama / wife or whatever, what he used to do to her. Alright? Capital punishment. And nah, I'm just playing. But peace out, y'all. I'll be back soon.